Hello, everybody. I am official Three Stooge Ambassador Andy P, and I'm here with...
I'm Curly G, the youngest grandson of Curly Howard from the Three Stooges. This guy!
And I am Cricky D, the modern-day Mo, and you may all recognize all of us as the main guys behind Stooge Talk Live, because we love the Stooges, and you do too.
Yes, we do, and now we are going to watch every single Stooge short and do a reaction. We're going to start with the first Stooge Columbia short, Woman Haters.
Wait a minute, there's 190 of those.
Yeah.
Wow! We're gonna be here all night.
Are you gonna watch them all now?
We're going to start with the first one. How's that?
Oh, good.
All right, so Cricky D, do the honors.
I hope it's rhyming.
All right, so let's go. Now, this is the very first Stooge short, NRA. That is the...
National Rifle Association?
No, it's actually not. Hold on, I had it written down here. It's the National Recovery Administration. It was eventually deemed to be unconstitutional, and they took it out.
Wow.
So here we go. Three Stooges, Mo, Larry, and Curly. And Curly, you'll see, is spelled with
an E.
C-U-R-E.
It's gonna be an E.
Yeah, with an E-Y, and it's a mistake.
It is a mistake.
Yes.
It should say Jerome.
I love the fact that Marjorie White gets a subcredit here.
Yeah, and in fact, in the original credits, these are the credits that came later. In the original credits, she got top billing. So, and with the Stooges, this is their first Columbia short. Mo signed a deal for $1,000, right, to do this one short with an option to do 8 shorts a year. And it was just a few hours before Larry signed an option.
Quiet, it's starting.
Oh, what? We want to talk about this. It was an hour right before, a few hours right before Larry signed an option with Carl Laemmle at Universal, which is because he signed it later. The Stooges ended up at Columbia.
That must have been an interesting conversation between Mo and Larry.
Yeah, you wonder, how did they sign without talking to each other?
It's probably the same thing as trying to listen to this, like any other thing.
But there's Vernon Dent right away. Vernon Dent right away.
Right.
That's not Vernon Dent.
Okay, so this is Women Haters. Now, obviously, this entire short is very different from the typical Three Stooges short, right? And they sing the entire short is all in rhymes.
Wait, they sing? They don't slap? There's no slap.
Ow! They do slap.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Watch the short.
Yeah,
It's my kind of short.
Here they come. Gentlemen.
This is part of a series called the Musical Novelty Series. This is number 6 out of 8 shorts that they did that are all singing. Now, here come the Stooges. Backwards, right?
Oh.
We'll see this later. At least in We Want Our Mummy.
Yes.
Right?
The detectives.
Yeah. Oh, we should turn this up a
I'd
little
like to
bit
be able
so
to
we
hear
can
it.
How do we hear this, Tim?
I'll do it.
Okay. So, look how young they are. Oh, you can see that they're figuring out their characters, and they don't have. Oh,
that's hard to do.
and they don't use their real names in this short.
They don't say Mo, Larry, and Curly?
No, they're not Mo, Larry, and Curly in here. Yep, and here, the start of the cartoon sound effects. A crank.
Does it go any louder?
And the music doesn't end. That's what's interesting. The music does not end.
Well, that's the way they.
That's
the way they were.
It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon now.
Well, the silent movies were just music, so it's just coming. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is not silent movie.
I know.
Everybody gets inoculated with an eye poke. Everybody gets an eye poke to join the Woman Haters.
Yeah, and so the thing with the eye poke here is there's no sound effects, and this is such a great sequence. Curly is dancing. It goes down hard.
Oh my! A backhand.
Oh. It's a first time, right? That's a first. We got a lot of firsts in this, obviously, it being the first one.
Look at that.
Mo really gives it to him.
Ow! I can't see.
Well, you defend yourself.
Oh, poor Vernon.
Oh, that's Bud Jameson.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Is it me or has Mo Howard always been the same age the entire time?
I couldn't see.
He does
The
feel like
1950s, he
was
feels
an
like
old
he's
young
the same
guy.
guy. Yeah.
So now, obviously, Bud Jameson, he's in the first Stooge short. He was a Columbia regular, and he does a ton of Three Stooges shorts. He died at a very young age, sadly. And you can see Curly uses a lot of his own voice in this.
Yeah.
He hasn't quite figured out his
There's
character
a vibrato there. A little
Hey
vibrato.
Andy, you gotta help me figure out how I get those seltzer bottles recharged.
I know, we got
a bunch of them.
Yeah,
I got a bunch of them at the
we have a
house.
couple of these seltzer bottles. We want to play with them.
They don't work. Yours
do work.
This one works.
Now, Larry, this is one of the very few shorts that revolves around Larry. right?
Yeah.
There's not too many of them.
His button says NRA. Is that what it says?
No, it says WH, woman haters.
Oh, I can't see it. I don't have my glasses on. Oh, hello, dollface.
Apparently they don't really hate women at all, do they?
No.
So I think the other two shorts that feature Larry as kind of the main lead is Three Lone Wolves, which when he kind of took over for Curly when Curly was not feeling well, I think he took over Curly's part, and he cooked his goose. And this one
That's a short, right?
Yeah, obviously, right? And
I thought you maybe were saying that, like we cooked his goose.
Like when they do the chicken soup, is it a
goose.
goose soup or something? What are you talking about, eh?
And also when they cook this goose, they're also, at least Shemp and Larry are kind of going after the same woman. And then the other short that they did where they're all going after the same woman would be, with Mo, Larry, and Shemp, would be Corny Casanova's much later.
It's funny to watch something like this. Like if we go into a bar today, right? There's all kinds of regulation around beer.
Yeah.
Like you have there's governmental regulations. These guys, it's like I can't. They would just like draft right out of a barrel.
Oh, right.
Exactly. Look how young Larry looks.
Oh, right. And so here we go.
Oh.
Here's another first. They just smashed the bottle.
Was that a breakaway?
Of course, I'm sure.
Oh, go ahead, give me a breakaway.
I'll give you one of those.
There's Marjorie White.
Oh.
So Marjorie White, this is her last film. She would die a year later.
Oh, it's so
horrible,
tragic.
Terrible.
horrible car accident outside of Santa Monica. She was also in Diplomaniacs with Wheeler and Woolsey, which if you get a chance.
Wow.
Yeah, Wheeler and Woolsey are great.
Wow, Wheeler and Woolsey.
And she did a Charlie Chan film, which I believe is missing.
How old was she when she passed away?
I think she was 31, so
Wow,
she was
that's
30
terrible.
Wow.
here, I believe. Although
terrible.
I've read different ages. I read in one of the Stooge books she was 26, but I don't think she
Still,
was.
way too young.
Did I call Bud Jamison Vernon Dent?
Yes, I think
Did I
you
do
did.
that?
Yeah.
Why didn't you hit me?
Yeah.
You hit me.
All right.
You should have hit me
I
too.
I'll do
I
it
don't
again.
know.
Hey, that's Vernon Dent.
Ow!
It's Bud Jameson.
Quiet, you.
By the way, Larry's hilarious.
Who's
Oh,
that?
now
Who's that
Tiny
big guy?
Sanford. All right, so Tiny Sanford's also, he was in Modern Times with Chaplin. He was on
Oh my gosh.
the assembly line, and of course he was in Our Relations with Laurel and Hardy.
Oh my gosh.
What's wrong?
This guy's in the crutches.
It's funny. It's so hard to keep track of all these second players because they were working everywhere all the time.
yeah.
And Larry really is the main guy. It's all about
Yeah, no,
Larry.
it's all about Larry. So
It's
now
all
the
about
justice
Larry.
of the peace here, that's Jack Norton. And so Jack Norton was in Rhythm and Weep much later with Curly at the end of Curly's career.
Look at that guy.
He doesn't want to get married.
You can't duplicate that guy.
No, you can't, Larry. So, the great reactor.
Yes.
So he also played Jack Norton, the Justice of the Peace here, also played A. Pismo Clam in W.C. Fields' Bank Dick with Shep Howard.
Which released this week.
Oh, which
Yeah.
Can I say that now, or? is
I
that-
mean, it's
it released this
irrelevant.
week when we're in production. It released this week.
So what week are we in? September, first week of
Whatever.
September.
As usual, it's irrelevant.
And irrelevance, never forget.
Irrelevance never good. Shut up. Wait a minute. Who's this? Is that Dudley?
No, that's not
No.
Dudley. But this set, the train set, was used in a Howard Hawks film with John Barrymore and Carol Lombard called 20th Century. Yes. And, the Stooges typically would shoot on sets from other productions. And it's
course.
how, Harry Cohen kept the budgets low.
Because they did, 4 days of production at the most?
Yeah, so this was 4 days of production from March 27th through the 30th in 1934. Here goes Larry singing. Of course, he's great. So much Larry in this.
He
Larry's
was,
so
he,
good.
was in, he was in vaudeville with his wife, right, for many years.
The Haney sisters
The
with
Haney
his wife
sisters,
and her
yeah.
sister, yep.
And when I'm finished with my crooning, all my knees are full.
He's so good. He's so interesting.
He's the underrated Stooge.
He is.
Unbelievable. Every time we watch stuff, I'm like, I've got to watch it.
Now look, do you know who this is?
That's Mo. That's Mo
no.
right
This is
there.
a 30-year-old Walter Brennan. So Walter Brennan,
when he was the bailiff.
My gosh, and he
Was he
still
not-
looks,
No,
and he
no,
still
not
looks
bailiff.
60.
yeah. Walter Brennan had a career that lasted 5 decades, right? He's one of 3 actors ever to win 3 Academy Awards, along with Jack Nicholson and Daniel Day-Lewis. And my favorite Walter Brennan role is Rio Bravo with John Wayne and Dean
I
Martin.
remember that.
Oh, okay.
Luke, hey Luke.
God, they really mastered their stunts after each one got better and better because that was not.
I
that
gotta.
great.
Honestly, I
that
have to
was like-
wonder: did Curly, was he really into this? Because Shep left, and they needed some help, so they put Babe in.
Well, so that's an interesting question,
It's
right?
like-
So now this is after, this is the first film without Ted Healy. They had done a couple shorts with Ted Healy and starred in a couple features. Curly did his own one of, solo short called Roast Beef and Movies. But you can see he's still early trying to figure out his character. He hasn't quite gotten to
Right.
Curly yet. I think it takes him a while. If you look closely, you could see his pants are split.
Because Shemp is left. Shemp,
Yeah, Shemp is left.
and
No,
Babe was brought in not really necessarily wanting to do it.
yeah,
It's really hard to say.
That's debatable.
Because he is such a classic.
I mean, I know the answer, but I can't tell you guys.
Oh.
I
What
can't
do
tell
you know?
them either. I'll
you
let
tell
you
me
guys
that?
know.
Can you tell me
At
after?
after the 191st episode, I'll tell you.
Okay, let's watch a show. Look at Mo. Mo's been the same
Sappy
age.
Dave.
He's been the same age for 4 generations.
Yeah, but his hair was a lot shorter than.
You know what's funny about this?
Yo.
It took me. I was a fan of the Three Stooges for 30-something years before I ever saw this short. It was one that I never saw on
it.
TV.
You never saw this one.
It's very different, very unusual. A lot of fans don't particularly like it. I'm not sure if you're actually even a fan of this one.
No, I've probably only seen it my whole life, maybe like 4
It
times.
feels a little to me like the Stooges are being squeezed into a thing that they are not really comfortable with.
Well, that's an interesting.
pull it
they're
off.
really
They
good
pull it
at
off.
it. They do pull it off, and I think they're trying to figure out.
It's almost like they're cameoing in something else that isn't the Stooge short.
I mean,
just saying.
Curly seriously hasn't figured out his character yet. He's getting close, though.
But he figured out his suit.
Well, you could see. I was mentioning it before. His pants are torn, right in the back. So anytime you see him from the back, you'll see his pants are torn.
He's a grandfather. What's that like for you to see this and go, that's my
That's
grandfather?
amazing.
Yeah, what is that?
I mean, come on.
'Cause that
the
is like-
master of comedy and slapstick.
Right.
One in a gazillion chance that I could be this. The blood of him is in my veins, and being so masterful, and seeing him from the beginning too.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is kind of very special.
There's Larry.
Oh, is
stepping
that
up.
so?
I love, somebody once said that when Mo leaves, Larry becomes Mo.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Mo
Yeah.
comes back, Larry
Look at
becomes Curly.
Look at his face.
Well, and I read somewhere that
I'm wanting you.
when Mo, Larry, and Curly left Healy, Mo was like, I took the Healy part. I'm no fool.
yeah.
Yes,
Because he knew
right.
who gave the beatings.
Right.
Uh-oh.
He's 3-something gentleman. Oh, his pants are torn. There he is.
Oh, I've never seen a punch.
He's 30 years old.
Larry.
Yeah, Walter Brennan, I believe 30 years. I know, it looks like he could be
Oh,
45.
my
Did you see
Lord.
that? Larry was a boxer. That was natural for him to go to like throw a right hand.
Yeah.
30 is
awesome.
a new 80. Yeah, and Babe was a dancer.
Look, Curly's kind of got his walk down. He's got his high waters.
And now his pants are not ripped.
I love this scene with Mo here. Larry's funny.
How old was Mo when this happened?
That's a good question. He had to be in his 30s,
30s,
for sure.
30s.
Like late
Yeah.
30s, I guess.
And Mo wanted to be a legitimate actor.
So was he born in 1897, maybe?
I believe so.
Yes, I think you're right.
So this is 1934.
And you're right. He regrets the fact that he didn't.
He really wanted to be an
Yeah.
actor. He worked on the riverboat for 2 years.
think
He
he-
wanted to do legitimate theater.
Well, Shemp had done so much.
Oh.
So I think he regretted that he.
But look, you
stuck
see
with
Larry
this.
just gave it to Mo a little bit.
Yep. That doesn't happen very often.
Now,
Oh, I forgot. I thought I was talking to you.
He's like the tough guy.
Where do you get that stuff? What are you trying to do?
what are you trying to do? Curly's roughhousing Mo here.
What are you trying to do?
Why,
Oh.
Yeah, it's one thing I noticed, right? It took me a long... When I started rediscovering the Stooges in my 20s, I didn't realize that the sound effect of the eye poke didn't come in until much, much later.
Follow
Like,
me.
look, like this is
Follow
funny
me.
without, like, that's without it.
But follow me.
And then here it is with it.
Oh!
It's so much funnier.
But the thing is, they were using a wood block. They didn't even master the sound effects yet. Did you hear it? The eye poke was a
But-
block of wood.
Yeah, I don't
But
think they were
as,
using an eye
as
poke
Andy
sound.
made it very clear to me during the live show, those sound effects are signature Stooge sound effects.
I believe that.
It's
yes.
like you can't just pull off a boink and it's not the Stooges boink.
All right, already.
Well, so at this
I think I
point,
get it.
like Jules White, right, who is a
Big.
producer,
I already got it.
really kind of insisted that they should start having cartoonish sound effects.
I don't know whether to look up or down. What do I do?
Both.
Well, you're watching their show.
Yeah. They don't need to see your eye line. You got.
Oh, but then they do.
Curly. Curly was just naturally funny. Some of
truly
these guys
was.
actually,
He
but honestly,
truly
so were
was.
Mo and Larry.
Yeah, but it evolved so much.
Yes.
This is good.
Yes.
It becomes epic.
Yeah.
Within like 10 episodes or something.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it happens pretty quick.
Okay, so just imagine for a second, Shemp is just off camera.
Watching?
What
do
is
you
he
mean?
thinking?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's like, I don't know if my little
Good
brother's
job,
gonna be able
guys.
to
Good
do
job,
it.
guys. Good job.
Yeah.
Somebody give me a ride home.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Don't worry, I got what it takes.
there's something about this that I actually really like. I kind of wish it came later. It didn't come right at first. It
Look at
would've
him.
been
Look at him.
Yeah.
a great experiment. I mean, it's a much more interesting experiment than maybe like Cuckoo on a Choo Choo, which also, as an adult,
very weird experiment.
I like them much more.
I like that Mo's about to cock and hit Marjorie White.
Yeah.
I mean, the slapstick in this short's pretty good.
And don't disturb us again. We're going to bed.
We're going to bed.
Oh,
What
yeah.
year is it? What year is this?
1934.
40, 34.
Yep.
So movies are still pretty new.
This was
Well, talkies are
Talkies
for
are
sure.
definitely new.
4 years
about 5 years
before
old.
my mom, Marilyn, was born. Curly's first daughter.
Oh,
1938 she was born, so it's 4 years before.
oh, this is before. Wow, no
Yeah.
kidding. So was he married to your grandmother?
No, they had my mom pretty quickly.
So when Larry just fell out of the bed there, Mo told a story that Larry actually broke his finger.
Oh, wow.
What? Is
Yeah.
that why he's like...
I think he broke his finger when he fell out. And what was that, a spittoon?
that's
Which I think I have a spittoon over there.
You do?
Oh. Are you okay, Mo? Oh, look, spittoon.
I like stuff like this.
Do they fall?
Oh, I also have a mallet. Not that this has anything to do with it, but I just thought we'd try a...
Ow!
Oh, so that's the first. Woo, 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 woo. You know, but it's much more Indian-ish, like they kind of did in nursery rhymes, and I'm wondering, really, is that the origin of the woo woo woo?
Look at that.
I know this is great.
the hairnet.
This slaps.
I know, but
Look at the
it's
hair-
so sloppy.
We need
It's
hair
so-
net.
That's what
It
makes
feels
it
sloppy
great.
to you?
No, I mean, it's not, they haven't honed it in yet.
Wait,
It was
look at
like this.
Larry. Look at Larry's
Well, that's
hair.
a weird shot of
Look
this.
at Larry's hair.
Yeah. Oh, Curly got clocked.
What are they, from Greece? What is that?
Hours ago, and the agreement that you fellas signed is false and it don't go, and everybody
Oh,
I can prove
Curly
it, and I
just
will move over.
Oh, out the window.
Oh, rear screen projection.
Oh, here they go.
Larry,
Old man.
Larry went like this.
Sadly, Bud Jameson would never make it to be that old. Actually, neither would Curly, huh?
No.
I think that's,
Oh, right
that's,
in the nose.
that's Mo and Merv Griffin right there.
Oh, Larry's. Look at them all shaky. You know what's weird? You do that shake.
Yeah. And they were young, too.
Yeah. You are your
I
life,
haven't
my
seen
love,
this
my
in so
all. Look at what are these guys doing in the background there?
That's
Boom!
This is where Dick Van Dyke got his Bert,
Oh,
for the-
yes!
the bank.
From Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Woo, 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 woo. I wish they would go back and add those sound effects of the iPod. This is a great ending here.
Do you see?
My life,
Do you see
my
brothers?
all.
Do you see brothers in Mo and Curly? I don't see brothers.
No.
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 Like you
Well,
think
the,
you
uh,
think Shemp and Mo?
That was
Yes.
great.
That was great.
That was really
yeah,
good.
Shemp and Mo. In fact, Shemp and Mo,
Yeah.
you could tell, and I think they had trouble with when Shemp came in to take over Curly.
They were too much alike.
They thought they were too much alike. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a great. It was so successful that Columbia decided to go ahead, and the next short would be Punch Trunks.
I think we should watch that next with the
Yeah,
fans.
we're definitely gonna watch it. So wrap it up. What do we think?
think? 25 more years of Columbia shorts.
I mean, I guess right up until
You know,
1959.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was pretty terrific, actually, because I love musicals, so I like the fact that there was music in it.
Yeah.
I know that they tear away from that later, but I thought it was.
well, so
it was really
rewatching
good.
that, because I know you didn't love this short.
No, but I do like the fact that there was music in it.
This
Yeah.
short felt like it was an odd fit. It's like
Right.
we're gonna put the Stooges in, and yet they capitalized and went, okay, we're gonna show you what we can do.
Was it like-
and that's why Columbia went, you know what? Let's give them 25 years.
I think so too. I mean, Harry Cohen loved them, right? This was a big hit. Clearly, they steal the show. Marjorie White was the lead of that originally in the opening credits, and you look at it now, and they do steal the show. Like
Right.
they jump out of the screen, and you say, "Oh, there's something to these guys,"
Right.
and there's moments in this. When they first come in, and they, Vernon Dent pokes Mo, and Mo turns around and he thinks it's Curly, and that whole little sequence of slapping it's got to be one of the best slapstick sequences they ever do.
And typical of the Stooge shorts, Marjorie White was probably the one that the Columbia wanted to feature. They probably wanted to push her into stardom,
Sure.
and she's now just a second banana to the Stooges.
Yeah, I think this is what she's best known for, and this is probably one of the least known and watched Stooges. But for true Stooge fans to go back, because I felt the same way when I first saw it. I was like, all right, it's kind of a novelty. I didn't
Yes,
love it.
yes.
I love it now. I love it, and maybe because I've seen all the other ones so much, and just to watch them develop their characters.
Well, and the fact, just like anything, it was the first episode. Even if it's a different type of show that you're watching, a series that's been going on for years and years, to see the very first one, it's like a pilot of a show, right?
Right.
So you know that this actually is as special as it gets, because this brought them years and years and years of just making laughs and movies and happiness for the whole world.
And all of us know what it's like to make a show. So for me, I want to know what happened when the cameras weren't rolling.
Yeah.
They probably were like, okay, how are we going to make this work? But then cut. Oh my gosh, it must have been crazy.
Well, what I read too, and I'm not 100% sure this is accurate, but then Mo signed this contract with Harry Cohen. A couple hours later, Larry signs one with Carl Laemmle over at Universal, right? And then it gets voided, and I don't know even how that happened. So weird. But then a week later, they started shooting this.
Wow.
So within signing their contract, and a week later, they're already shooting this, and it took 4 days, and you could tell. I mean, it looked like fun. It looked like fun, and the boys worked at it. I mean, you watch them, and I always said to you, I'm like, Curly, I watch, because I watch Curly, and I've studied Curly, and he's not acting. He's just being.
He is just
He's
being.
reacting.
Right.
And he's just being.
I would love to see him off camera. As soon as they call cut, I'd
Yeah.
love to see it.
What he was
But
like.
can you imagine Jack Warner and Carl Laemmle on the phone call to each other?
Wow.
Yeah, what
You
was
can't
that?
even imagine that. Those were the guys.
Yeah.
Jack Warner and Carl Laemmle,
Right.
the founders of those two studios.
And I do wonder what would have happened if they ended up at Universal, which, always they had a bigger budget for everything. Like, you look at Abbott and Costello, which would come, maybe 10 years later, start after this. And, you can't argue that they used a lot of, Abbott and Costello used a lot of Stooges bits, and Stooges used a lot of Laurel and Hardy bits, and Harold Lloyd.
second players,
Yeah,
including
for
Joe
sure.
Besser and Shemp.
But you're right. But you wonder if the Stooges ended up at Universal, would there have been an Abbott and Costello, right? And would they have ended up in features, right? You wonder what would have actually ended up happening. And thank God, that Harry Cohen, and there's a lot of people that talk about how he ripped them off and he didn't pay them well. It's very debatable, right? They worked 12 months or 12 weeks out of the year, and then went off and did their live shows.
But you know how I feel about this. I think the reason they are so relevant today is because they made shorts and not features. I think the Marx Brothers are suffering because they only made features, and people don't have the attention span.
Yeah.
So now kids, and you've seen this. We've seen 10-year-old kids coming up and giving eye pokes.
Yeah, that's true. Even now, right? You think in this day, because when we did the live show, I played Curly, he played Mo. You played Curly G. You played yourself, and
I was the fifth man.
Yeah, and we had a Larry, and we would do these. We would travel around the country, and these little kids. I mean, there was families,
8, 10, 12 years old.
Yeah, who loved it, and I was surprised they loved Mo. Yeah. Mo was everybody's favorite.
The tough guy was amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
And you know, we'll end this, but Shemp has also had an absolute big resurgence than he ever did when I was growing up. Shemp was booed, you know, more often than not, right? Oh, Shemp, right? And like he's really had a resurgence, and I think the Stooges, the Three Stooges Plus channel is a testament to this. The millions of views that they're getting every month, the millions of followers on Facebook and Instagram, the tens of thousands of followers on the Curly's grandson's channel.
And I don't want to diminish, honestly, the Shemp Howard Goyles. I mean, the fact that the Shemp Howard legacy lives on through his daughters, his granddaughters, his great-granddaughters, and they're fantastic.
And you wonder what would have Shemp been in this if had Curly not done it, if he had stuck with the group? That would have been very different.
It would have been very different.
He didn't like
different,
and he didn't like a beat down.
Because he was the first
He took it pretty hard.
Well, no, he took it, but he didn't like the physical comedy.
Is that true? I've never heard that. Yeah.
Babe would not have been
as
there. Babe would not have been there if Shemp hadn't moved on to do solos.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that was it. Thanks for joining us. We will do this live, and join us next time. We're going to be picking up with episode short. I like to call them shorts because that's what they are. But you could say episode the second short for Columbia, Punch Drunks.
Oh, I love that one. That's a great one.
Incredible.
Thanks for joining us.
They started out so strong. They
did.
Woman haters. They come up with Punch Drunks.
Yeah, and then Men in Black, which they got nominated for Academy Award.
Hey, fellas.
Incredible.
Speaking of punch, I'm kind of thirsty. Can I get some punch?
Sure.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Make sure you like, subscribe, Three Stooges Plus. Find us all over the place. Look up Curly G.
I need a doctor.
I'm Stooge. This is Chris Darmick. We'll see you next time.
We love you.
Hey, Puddlehead, how's that girl you're seeing?
Oh, she left me for a crazy reason.
A crazy reason?
Yeah, she was crazy about someone else.
Well, don't you worry about it. You just forget all about her.
I wish I could, but I can't forget her at all.
Well, I'll help you with that.
Did it work?
I remember.
What'd you do that for?
I just want to forget the whole thing.